This is what we did before Google changed the world. Stanford University, located in Stanford, California, a suburb of the city of San Jose, is a billionaire creator factory. This school is among the top in the United States for producing billionaires. On December 4th, 1998, two of this factory's products were birthed in two young alumni by the names Sergey Brin and Larry Page. These two, with some other pieces, would go on to literally change the planet in the same fashion Bill Gates and Paul Allen did years before these two. Google.com, the world's most visited website from 2010 to 2021, has been the world's library and basis for most searches over the internet. Google-owned YouTube has been right up there with worldwide search volume. Gmail, Android, Maps are entities derived from Google that are market leading and do not appear to be vanishing anytime soon. Google's parent company, Alphabet, is among the 5 wealthiest companies in the world year after year. Information seekers weren't always told to Google it. And the fact is, there were other very successful search engines before Google. But before this revolutionary search engine and the others that preceded it, research had to be done through the old technology of encyclopedias. For 244 years, Mr. Britannica and his many articles ruled the English world of knowledge. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who you talk to, Mr. Britannica has been tossed aside in favor of quicker, more direct searches through Google. But before Google and the other search engines, encyclopedias such as Britannica were prevalent in homes and offices worldwide. Encyclopedias are fact-based entries of certain topics. Now, given the amount of topics on this planet, imagine how many volumes would be needed to cover such vastness. According to Britannica, just kidding. According to Google, one of the sets has reached 32 volumes. Why anybody needs 32 volumes of information at their disposal is beyond me, and was obviously beyond Sergey and Larry. Wait a minute. What happens though if information changes, which it tends to do? Then the encyclopedia needs to be updated. Well, not so much of a problem. Just take the 32 volume set and update them all every year. Well, Mr. Gates' trusty company surely had a helpful solution. Welcome to Microsoft Encarta. There was Compton's and New Grolier multimedia encyclopedias before Encarta hit the scene. But Microsoft did not have an encyclopedia before this time. And so, according to Britannica, it's so hard to resist. According to, well, Wikipedia, for $395 US, which would be $809.89 US in today's currency, you could purchase the CD-ROM of over 60,000 articles. As could be imagined, sales were slow at that price point, and during the year, Microsoft would bundle it with the purchase of a new computer. They then dropped the standalone product to 99 US dollars. Portability created success for Encarta, as one would no longer need a 30-plus volume set of books, but instead 5 CD-ROMs and later on just 1 DVD. Encarta would have features such as 3D virtual tours of ancient structures and places, panoramic images of world wonders and major cities, and also a virtual flight feature. Revolutionary at that time. With such cool features, how could anyone want different? Consumers not seeing the relevance of packaged software and companies wanting to move toward subscription-based services brought the demise of Microsoft Encarta. It doesn't help that a site called Wikipedia flooded the online space for information seekers also. So, in 2009, Microsoft obviously discontinued the product, and that year the last version of Encarta was made available. Encarta was super cool for those of us that remember using the software. It gave us knowledge not only in text format, but through the use of virtual imaging, which, at the time, was amazing technology. Now, there are things like Google Street View that are so commonplace that if an area doesn't have Street View, we grumble and complain that this shouldn't be. It's 2022. But multimedia technology in those days was a big deal, and Encarta lived up to the hype. Schools and libraries made Encarta available to users. Although sales numbers weren't ready available for this video based on global popularity and some data from the 90s, Encarta must have easily generated billions of dollars in sales for Microsoft. The price drop alone to $99 when it was newly released generated 350,000 purchases that year. So if you do the math, well, you do the math. While the world has since moved on from print encyclopedias and even digital ones, we decided to leave you some interesting facts regarding Microsoft Encarta. Microsoft Encarta was resource heavy. It required an 8386 processor, a CD-ROM drive, a hard disk with at least 8 megabytes of free space, and at least 2 megabytes of internal memory. The developers would hide a secret article about their dogs in the program. Unfortunately, due to disk space, this Easter egg was discontinued. Depending on which country you were from, the facts would change. Who invented the telephone? Well, ask an American, you would get one answer. Ask an Italian, you would receive another. Humanity has been served well by these mediums, but as life progresses, typically so do the tools, and for now, the encyclopedia in hard form is now known as Technono. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to be notified of nostalgia within the tech industry.